So the other issue here is because the sense I'm getting here is, well, I was in South Africa, it was my wife's birthday, and I just decided to buy some buffaloes. And I wonder, and I don't know if you got this from him, Yusra, did he plan to buy buffaloes before he entered this country? In other words, when he brought in the 580,000 rand in cash, was it just a, we are going to spoil ourselves in South Africa and enjoy the birthday, or was he determined from the onset that this is the money I'm going to spend on buying the buffaloes? Or that was just a decision that was taken haphazardly during their visit and holiday here?
So we didn't address that. I mean, it wasn't clear. He didn't make it clear whether or not he had come in. What he was clear on is that he brought the cash in, he declared it at the airport, and that he just was celebrating his wife's birthday, and that it just came about. It did, from what he said, it did seem quite like an impulsive purchase, but again, I can't verify that because he wasn't clear on what his intentions were coming into the country.
So here's what surprised me from your report is that he's saying he's expecting a refund. And that surprises me because when I read the president's response to the parliamentary panel, and even when I read his legal papers to the Constitutional Court yesterday seeking to declare this report invalid, the president nowhere, when he's addressing the issue of why the cattle has not been picked up after 2 years, nowhere does he say, well, there are processes to actually take back the money, because the panel asked the question of when is the cattle going to be delivered. Sure, you may want to argue that, you know, it was COVID-19, there were so many regulations, you know, there's paperwork that's got to be done, but surely there's got to at least be an intention to say, we are planning to send the cattle maybe next year or in 2 years' time. And that's not clear, and there was no mention of we are going to repay the person. Why is he expecting a refund?
I mean, that's the thing. That shocked us too, well, because the Africa producer and I sat down and like really analyzed the interview after the audio recording, and that discrepancy stood out to us as sort of the main sort of difference in his account and the account of the president. That he says clearly, I am of the there is an understanding that I will be refunded. But he also expressed that he understands that might take a while with everything going on. But he said there's an understanding that I will be refunded, and we have not seen that anywhere in any paperwork or any testimony that is actually going to happen. And so that's a key sticking point.
Yeah, and he's not explaining why he would be refunded. Yeah, because I'm thinking here, you've bought the cattle, you want the buffaloes. The fact that they've not been delivered in 2 years is not a big deal as long as you can say, hey guys, COVID is no more, the regulations, or 3 years.
3 years now. Yeah, and I think for him, he's just like, he says this was a business deal, standard business deal. And I think for a businessman, you expect your product, your goods to arrive in a timely manner. And I think now that COVID-19 doesn't have its grip on exports, imports as much as it did at the time, I think he's just like, yeah, I'm expecting a refund. He doesn't say I'm disappointed but as a businessman, I think for him it's pretty clear, 1 + 1 = 2. Where are my buffaloes?
Yeah, this is crazy. Okay, so the question now is, Yusra, does he know that some of the money has allegedly been stolen?
He just, when getting into it, and asking him, what do you make of this controversy? What do you make of these events? He's got it feels like he almost has no idea really what the details are.
Yeah. Yusra?
He doesn't know what the details are. He's just like, this is a big deal. I don't understand why.
Yeah, listen, thank you so much, and well done to you and Voldy for tracking down this man, because this is the first time I think we're actually hearing from him, and there's so many questions around what he has told Sky News. Yusra El Bagir is the Sky News Africa correspondent who is based here in Johannesburg. They gave him a call, and he's confirmed that yes, I bought the cattle. I brought the 580,000 rand cash into the country. When Sky News asked for the documentation, just proved to us that in fact this money was declared. As you heard from Yusra, he started now retracting and saying, I don't want to jeopardize the processes that are underway. I still don't understand, and maybe I don't get it. I don't understand how you showing that, oh look, I did declare the money, here's the document. I don't understand how that somehow jeopardizes the investigation. And the thing about the impeachment inquiry is, if they don't get answers from this person, they could go to Home Affairs and say to Aaron Motsoaledi, yo, on this particular date, do you, in your records as Home Affairs, have someone who entered the country on this date? And did the person enter the country with an amount of money, and was that money declared? And you ask Aaron Motsoaledi and other stakeholders that may know. The other thing that is surprising to me, and maybe it's not to you, is why are you getting a refund? You bought the buffaloes 3 years ago. They were never delivered. There's no indication of when they will be delivered. Why are you getting a refund then? Is it because this is clouded in controversy and you want nothing to do with it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand that. But I wanted you to get at least the idea of what this Sudanese businessman has told Sky News. Your reaction, please, on 011-883-0702. WhatsApp's on 072-702-1702.
You're with Clement Maniatella.
702. Let's walk the talk.
All right, let's now bring in Professor Pierre DeForce, who is a constitutional law expert who yesterday, like many others, went through the legal papers that were filed by President Cyril Ramaphosa in the Constitutional Court. Professor DeForce, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I want us to go maybe on a case by case so that you get to help us understand the president's argument. And I want to start with something that was very contentious that we differed with the listeners on the 702 open line. The idea of sufficient evidence versus prima facie evidence. Because the president...
Sorry? Okay.